Yo, what's good on snipers, and welcome back to our Detroit Tigers franchise mode here in MLB Show 21. So in last episode we started up the season simulation and we also had the draft, and as you can see so far we are 25 and 25, so not too bad so far, but our division is pretty tight for the most part. Like as you can see, the Kansas City Royals are bottom with 4 games back of the top team, which is the Cleveland Indians. So it's a pretty tight race for the most part in our division, and hopefully we could get our pitching a little bit better throughout the season, because that's been pretty much our downfall right now this season, which is kind of weird because usually it's our offense that's not that good, but for some reason this year our offense is really good and our pitching has kind of struggled. It could be because we do have an injury to Dennis Tucker currently, but I'm not 100% sure why the reason we're losing games is because if we go to our stats for the season so far, I didn't show you guys, I don't think, this at the end of the last episode, but I was looking at it and it looks like we are one of the best offensive teams currently in baseball. As you can see, we've scored the most runs by quite a large margin. We've got a lot of hits, doubles, triples wise we don't have as much, but we still do have a decent amount of triples. Home run wise we don't have a lot because we don't have really a whole lot of power guys, but we are still like the middle of the league, which is pretty good. We do have a lot of RBI as well, so we're doing pretty good offensively. But then you go to things like, example, I think it was ERA. Yeah, if we go to ERA, we are, I believe, the worst team in ERA. Yeah, we're the worst team in the league in terms of ERA with a 4.81. And usually we are a really good team in terms of pitching, because obviously the last few years we've had like Chauncey McElroy, we've had David Jordan, both win Cy Young awards, and Dennis Tucker looks like he could win a Cy Young once he comes back. The only problem is it seems like our bullpen hasn't been simulating that well. Like I hope it could like figure itself out a little bit throughout the next half of the season and all that stuff. Because if not, we might have to make some trades, and I don't really know what I could do for trades. I don't even know if I'm going to make any trades regardless in this episode, because I feel like this team should be a good pitching team. It's just going to take time to get us our bullpen back to normal and all that stuff. So yeah, pretty much that's that. And also I wanted to let you guys know quickly before we actually like go over what we got in the draft and stuff like that, that episodes for this series will be on Mondays and on Thursdays. And in NHL 22, if you guys didn't see like my post on the community tab, is going to be on Tuesdays and Fridays. So just a little heads up on the new scheduling for when episodes are out. But anyways, let me just show you guys quickly what we got in the draft. So we got not that great of players. Not a lot of teams actually got any good potential players, but we did get some guys with some good overalls, like Steven R. Moss, who's a 71, and he's only 20 years old, which is pretty good. Like a couple other guys that are in their like 60s and they're not too young or not too old, so that's not too bad. This one is probably the worst pick, Alex Garcia. He's at 44 at 20, and then there's also, actually maybe not, the 25-year-old. This guy's a 61 overall at 25, which is not good. He's got 78 potential, which is good. But right now, this guy doesn't look too good. He's looking okay in terms of contact hitting and stuff like that, but I don't really think this guy's ever going to make it to the MLB. So I'm not going to sign that guy, but everybody else is signed, and then Garcia is not going to get signed either, just because he's not really going to become much of anything anyways, because his hitting and all that stuff doesn't look that great. So we aren't going to sign him either. But yeah, anyways, that's what we had in the draft. And yeah, like I said, for most other teams, the draft wasn't that good either, so it's okay. I didn't show you guys the Ulcer voting currently. I think the only one that has actual votes for the Ulcer game is Eduardo Cortez from us, because he's got a good batting average, but we need some guys to kind of pick it up in terms of like getting home runs and stuff like that a little bit, because we do have a lot of guys with good RBIs in that, but we just got to get our offense to continue to get better, even though it is one of the best in the league right now, and we need to get our pitching to get better. So hopefully once Dennis Tucker returns from his injury, which is only for a few days, hopefully that helps us win games, because Dennis Tucker's off to a really good start this year, 3-1 with a really good ERA and a really good whip, and I believe, yeah, a very solid FIP as well. So hopefully once he comes back we start winning games again. So we're going to advance only a few days just so we can get him back. So we'll go to the end of this Cleveland series. Just go through these a little slowly. We win 1 and lose 2. That's not good, because Cleveland is a divisional opponent, right? Yeah, they're top of the division now. So Dennis Tucker should be back, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. or he should be close to being back out. There's another injury. Just Ramos. Okay, so Dennis Tucker should be back, which means I should be able to... Okay, he's going right back to where he is. I think that's good. I might readjust our rotation. I might move David Jordan down because he's actually struggled this year, which is kind of surprising. Unless his FIP is good, which I don't think I saw was... Yeah, his FIP is way worse than last year. So we're going to move Jordan down to third. And then Dennis Tucker could be our number 2. Casey Mize is really struggling this year. I don't know if it's because of his age. But yeah, he is getting paid for a long-term deal. So we might have to trade him away in the offseason, which really sucks. And Scott James is off to a not that great of a start either, but he is winning games. Yeah, I'm not really liking how our bullpen's been playing, really. Like, I feel like we should be going for somebody in our bullpen to help us out. But, like, Selby's not been good. Grubb's been terrible. I should actually send down Grubb. That's what I was thinking about at the end of last episode. Because Grubb is pretty terrible. So I think I am going to send down Grubb, and I am going to call up McGrath. So we're going to move Grubb down to AAA. He's going to go on waivers, but that's okay because he's been horrible. And we will move Matthew McGrath to the MLB because he's been apparently hot down there in AAA. Just to change things up a little bit, and yeah, McGrath will go in as a reliever just because we don't really have any other places where we could play him. Yeah, I think that's good to go. Okay, perfect. So that's the only little roster move we're going to make so far in this episode. So let's continue to simulate. Let's go all the way up to the All-Star Week. And hopefully this team could win a lot of games and get ahead of all the other teams in the division. Because like I said, it's a pretty tight division. So, like, I mean, we could end up making it into the wild card. But we're winning a lot of games this month, which is a good sign. Hopefully that means our defense is playing a little bit better. And hopefully our pitching is playing a little bit better. Let's stop the simulation. Just because there's apparently some important notifications. We are 43-39 and tied for first in our division, so it's good that our division is like so tight because we're able to hop from like last to first pretty fast. So let me just take a look at how McGrath has been doing since being called up. He's not been that great, but he's been better than Grubb. So yeah, Grubb has been not even that good down there at AAA. So yeah, I don't know if Grubb is a part of our future or what. Really, he's 27 already, anyways. So. Let's get rid of these other notifications that they say are important but aren't really important. We got another injury. Wait, a couple injuries. So Joe Green actually tore his pectoral, so that's not a good one because obviously he's a relief pitcher. Darrell Phillips, this guy's a prospect. That sucks that he dislocated his shoulder. And Rick Plummer, oh, that's a big injury. Suffered a shoulder tear for 1 to 2 months. That really sucks because Rick Plummer is a really good guy to get on base and stuff like that. Man, that really blows. But let me take a look and see who we have in our outfield. Do we still have a good outfield? I think so, right? Hara and Harvey, which is good. We could always call up Troy Hinton at some point, but I would like to keep him down there for the year still. Brandon Marsh is pretty good. He looks like he's making the All-Star game, which is interesting, even though he's not got a good batting average. Or maybe he made the All-Star game last year. Montenegro still bland. Kiki McKenna got called up in replacement. He's not been that good, but I'll take it for now anyways. But yeah, we're 43-39. That's good. As we look to climb our way into a playoff spot, we're going to get the rest of the season done in this episode as well. So let's get rid of all these notifications. And we do got one game left before the All-Star game. We are top of the division with 48-43 record. That's good to see. I don't like how tight our division is to an extent also, though, because if we are to lose like maybe a few games near the end of the season, we might end up missing the playoffs, which would be a very big bummer, considering this team has been really good the last few years. Let's see. So Joe Green is still out for 2 to 3 weeks. Phillips out for 1 to 2. And Plummer will be back in 3 to 4 weeks, which is great because he will be back before the playoffs start if we are to get to the playoffs, which I feel like should be the case. Let me just take a look at our starting pitchers and see if they've improved because I feel like they should have. So Chauncey's improved a lot since we last looked. Dennis Tucker is still playing really good. Not really Cy Young caliber, but still really good. David Jordan is improving as well. Casey Mize also improving. And Charlie Selby's been put into our starters, which is interesting. He's been okay. Yeah, it's still our pitching ERA is a little bit high, but I mean, at least we're winning games. Seems like our closers are doing good. It looks like we're using Corona as a setup guy, which is a little bit interesting, but I'll take it, I guess, since Sammy Chavez is a closer too. Yeah, I think we'll just keep it right now like that. Let me just take a look at the batting lineup just to see who's been doing good. Hare's been doing good. Cortez has been good. Sullivan's been good. Nunez hasn't been that good, really. Well, he's been good home run wise and RBI wise, but his average is not that great. Montenegro's been okay. He's got 15 home runs. Brandon Marsh has been a. Seems like a couple of guys have been really good in terms of batting average, like even Valdez, Garcia, both have really good batting averages. Robbie Harvey's got a really good average. Bench-wise, we're getting some good effort from our bench guys as well. So maybe it looks like our offense is continuing to be one of the best in the league, which hopefully it is, because that would be nice because we are first in contact technically and second in power. So that's interesting. Let's do the one game before the All-Star game just so we can see who makes it to the All-Star game. Let me just stop that for a sec. We did beat them. We're 49 and 43 now, which is awesome. Let's get rid of this notification. Okay, so let's see who made it into the All-Star game once we get through the Home Run Derby. Let me just see if anybody made it for us for the Home Run Derby, because normally nobody makes it for us. And yeah, nobody is going to make it for us. The All-Star representatives for the Home Run Derby are Torres, Beatty, Riley, Baker, Luis Robert, Julio Rodriguez, Ray Manuel, and Dominic Smith. Interesting. It seems like we never have Home Run Derby guys, but that's okay. Okay, let's take a look at the actual All-Star game and see if we have anybody that made it. I think Eduardo Cortez for sure made it, but I'm not too sure on anybody else. So let's just go through this a little bit quickly. Okay, so this is the AL, so this should be the ones that we have our players in, I'm pretty sure. So Sammy Chavez made it as a closer, which is actually pretty awesome. Or he's probably going to be playing as like a setup guy, but he definitely deserves it. This guy might end up hitting the free agency this year because of our cap problem, but if I trade away somebody like Casey Mize, I might be able to free up cap space to get him back. But that's good to see Sammy Chavez making it. What else we got here? Let's just press A. We got Eduardo Cortez. Yep, Cortez making his first All-Star game appearance, I'm pretty sure. Unless he made it last year, but hitting over a 301 right now. He's been pretty fantastic. Yeah, I really like this guy as well. Definitely a really good guy to get on base. Taylor Ferrell, that guy was actually in the same draft as Gary Hare, which is kind of interesting. He's actually developed pretty well. Way better than I thought he would. Anybody else? Luis Garcia made it as a bench player. Good to see him get on there. And I think that is it. So we had 3 All-Star representatives this year, so not too bad from our boys. And yeah, let's continue to simulate and go up to the trade deadline prep. I don't think we're going to make any trades just because I want this team to simulate as is right now. But if there's an offer I can't refuse, then maybe I will make one. Who knows? Let's get rid of these notifications, skip them. Okay, so what are we at? 51 and 44. We're still 1 game up on the Indians. The Indians are still on our ass. White Sox and Twins are kind of close, and same with the Royals. Damn, this is a really good division. What else we got here? Hopefully we did not suffer any injuries. Yeah, we did apparently. And it was to Felix Cordova, I think. Yeah, the other ones were all injured still. So once Rick Plummer comes back, he's going to help out our batting average a lot more because he's a really good player. Joe Green really hasn't done much this year. Actually, he's been a pretty good reliever. Never mind. He's going to be okay when he comes back. I believe he was in AAA, though, but he's going to be in the MLB when he comes back, I think. And then Felix Cordova is a decent prospect, but I don't know if he'll ever make it. Who knows? But that really sucks that he got injured. Okay, so that is that. Let's look at contract extensions. I'm not going to be able to sign any of these guys to extensions because I don't really have the money right now, which actually sucks, but I might be able to get some of these cheaper guys back. Let's get down to 990K. There you go. But yeah, I'm not going to be able to give a lot of these guys contract extensions yet, which is okay. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to get a lot of these guys back. I want Garcia back for sure because he's the best shortstop we have by far. Can I go down to 3 years and try and get him to as minimum as possible, which would be like 69 million? I can't afford that contract. Yeah, I might not be able to get Garcia back unless I am to trade away somebody like Casey Mize in the offseason. Means I can't get Chavez either back right now. I can't get Selby back, James back. So I gotta wait till the offseason to make some moves to free up cap space. But look at all that green. We look pretty good for the season so far. I don't think I'm gonna make any trades because I think it's kind of pointless for us to make trades. But yeah, hopefully we make it to the playoffs still. Apparently there's another important message. Hey, when it says that there's an important message and there's not injured list, just another prospect, so that's okay. Rick Plummer should be back in 1 to 2 weeks, and Joe Green should be back soon too, which is good, and then we'll be back to full health in the MLB, I'm pretty sure. Got rid of all those notifications. Roster, what is that? Oh, it's just they sent Miguel Cabrera down, okay. Let me just make sure they didn't adjust my roster the way I want it. Okay, everything's still good with this roster until Rick Plummer comes back. But yeah, I think this is going to be a really good year for us because right now we're second place, but oh yeah, it's because we played more games than Indians have. That's not good. The Indians have been really good lately, but I think we're still going to make it into the playoffs. We just need to keep winning games. Like if we look at the wild card standings right now, which, let's see, wild card, yeah, we're currently in the wild card spot, and we would be facing the Orioles if we are to get to that wild card game. If we get a wild card spot, I feel like we could be a team that wins the World Series being a wild card team, but you never know. Let's into contract extensions. Come on, boys, we need to win games down the stretch, please. Okay, so that was only one game and we lost it, which is not good. Get rid of all these notifications. I think once Plummer comes back, we'll be better. Let's into September call-ups. There's 3 straight wins. Yeah, there we go. We're winning games down the stretch, which is great to see because we want to be the best team we can. And let's see what we are now. 73 and 56. We are tied with the Indians for top place in our division. That's good. Transactions. There you go. Any injuries? Luis Bourbon. Yeah, it was just a prospect. Okay, that's good. Let me just go back to our roster and make sure they sent down Kiki McKenna because we don't really need Kiki up here. Yeah, okay, good. They sent down Kiki. Rick Plummer is back, which is great for our bench. I would really like to use Rick Plummer as a starter, so I might have to get rid of Brandon Marsh in the offseason. Just because even though Brandon Marsh is good, we did sign him to an extension of, like, good money, but I really want to get rid of him, probably because he's making a lot of money. Because Rick Plummer is probably going to be a really good player to play full-time. Because if he's playing off the bench and having this type of stats, he's definitely going to be a good player to put into the regular lineup, I would assume. Okay, so September call-ups wise, how much are we supposed to call up? We have to call up 2 players, it looks like. Yeah, it looks like, yeah, we have to call up 2 players for September call-ups, so I guess we'll call McGrath back up since he got sent back down. Yeah, I think we'll call up McGrath again. And we will call up 1 other player, which probably won't be a pitcher this time around. We could always call up somebody like Ramirez, but I don't really think I need to call up another closer. I don't think I could call up Sapasso, right? No, he's not under 40-man. I could add him to our 40-man roster, I think. Because currently we do have 40-man. Damn, that sucks. I could call up somebody else, though. Conrad Colvin could get called up, to be honest. He's been really good down there in AAA. He'd go back down through waivers, which is okay, but he's close to retirement, I think, anyways. So we'll move him to the MLB, because I think he'll be a good September call-up. He'll help us out offensively for sure, because he does still have really good contact and power. So let's call him up for spring training, or not spring training, for September. And I think that's pretty much that. Yeah, that's good. Let's send to the postseason, see if we make it to the playoffs, which more than likely we will, unless we go on a big losing streak. But yeah, I think Conrad Colvin would be just a good little bench option to have. Okay, so the Mud Hens apparently made it to the playoffs, which is good. And the Seawolves did not. So AAA made it, AA does not. Even though AA did actually finish just above 500. Yeah, let's stop simulating for a sec just so I could see the standings again quickly. We are 0.5 games back at the Indians, but we probably are in the first wildcard spot, right? Yeah, we clinched the playoff spot. And yeah, we're first in the wild card by quite a large margin. And it looks like we're going to face either the Orioles or our enemies in the Blue Jays. And we should be able to beat either or because we have 10 more wins than them currently, which is kind of nuts. But yeah, hopefully we could take over that top divisional spot instead because I don't want to go through a wild card game. So Claudio Mora is injured, but okay, that was not a good injury to have near the end of the season. That is a massive loss. Gary Hara going down with a broken forearm for 1 to 2 months. Yikes. Yeah, Gary Hara was having one of his best seasons in terms of batting average. That is not good. His stats are not as good as they were in previous years this season, but yeah, when you're paying a guy $28 million, you want to have him in the playoffs. 1 to 2 months. That is not good. That is not good. I'm okay with these other 2 injuries, but man, wrong time for that type of injury. Hopefully he's back for when we get to, like, if we get to a World Series this year, because that's a massive loss to our team. Let me just take a look at our outfielders. So, yeah, we'd have Robbie Harvey still. I could honestly call up Hinton, but he's not on our 40-man. Rick Plummer and Brandon Marsh, Montenegro, Bland, Kiki McKenna gets called up again. Okay, I think I'm okay with our outfield. Just because Brandon Marsh, Plummer, I think Plummer will get a better opportunity with Hara injured, but it still really sucks. Okay, we go to our lineup. Let me just see. I might want to throw Rick Plummer into some of these lineups. Rick Plummer is really good against right-handed pitchers in terms of contact. So we could always throw him in instead of Brandon Marsh. Yeah, I think I'm going to change him and Brandon Marsh on the right-handed pitcher thing. Just to get Rick Plummer some more playing time because I know he's going to be good. And then, yeah, Brandon Marsh could play against left-handers. Yeah, that's good. Perfect. Okay. Let's continue to assimilate to the postseason, which we are a couple games away from. We do actually have a series against the Indians in the last 3 days, which, if it comes down to it, that determines who wins the division, which is pretty crazy. So let's continue to assimilate to the postseason. Come on, guys. We need those wins, and I don't think we got some. Oh, we did sweep the Indians, though, which is huge. So Mud Hens have won the AAA East Championship Series, and they're going to the National Championships. Nice. So our AAA team might end up winning a championship, which is pretty awesome. And we do win our division, finishing 95 and 67, just barely edging out the Indians because of that last series, I'm pretty sure. That is huge. That is huge. So Cleveland ends up going to the wild card game against Baltimore. We're more likely going to have to face Cleveland in the ALDS, I would assume. But that is awesome. League leader-wise, we do have some league leaders. So Scott James in winning percentage and Sammy Chavez in saves. And then also Robbie Harvey in RBI with 111. Wow. That's a big season from Robbie Harvey. Wasn't really expecting him to lead at all in terms of anything. He was also up there in batting average. I guess we'll go through this kind of quickly. So Garcia also up there. Cortez and Harvey up there for hits. Cortez up there for at-bats. Not that that matters. Doubles, nobody really. Triples, nobody. Home runs. Carmen Nunez was up there in home runs. Only 3 back of the top spot, which is pretty nice. RBI-wise, yeah, Robbie Harvey at number 1 with 111. Carmen Nunez up there at number 4, so we did definitely have a good offense this year. Garcia up there at number 2 in runs. Cortez up there as well. Stolen bases, Cortez and Hara both are up there. Gary Hara honestly probably could have finished first if he didn't get injured, I would assume. Based on balls, Luis Garcia. Let's just go through the rest of this kind of quickly. Wait, OPS-wise, Robbie Harvey was really good. Garcia was really good. Wins for pitchers. Scott James was... How did Scott James pull out 16 wins all of a sudden? This guy really didn't look like he was going to be a really good pitcher, but 16-3 this year. He was 5-0 last year. Wow. That was his FIP. Really good as well. Damn. Scott James might end up winning at Cy Young potentially. Yeah, because he was 16-3 and he had really good ERA and WHIP and all that. Sammy Chavez in saves. ERA-wise, Apparently he wasn't up there, which is interesting. What else we got here? Shutouts, nobody up there. Strikeouts, nobody up there. Walks allowed, not that matters. Whip. Yeah, it looks like we're not going to win a Cy Young, but that's okay. We're probably going to end up winning some awards, though. Okay, so that is that. We do have some awards. Injury list. Christian Franco apparently is out for a few days, which is not good because he's a good reliever. And Rick Plummer got injured when I put him in the lineup for 1 to 2 weeks. But apparently he is back, which is good news already going into the playoffs. Or no, he's not. For 1 to 6 days. So, of course, they give Rick Plummer a little bit more time because Gary Hare's injured and, well, he sprains his knee. At least it's not too long-term, and he will be back for probably the start of the playoffs, or maybe not the start of the playoffs. Maybe mid next round or first round. Gary Hare's injury is still going to probably come back to bite us, I think. Seems like we always get injuries at the worst time possible. Okay, awards. Did we get any awards this season? Yep, Sammy Chavez is going to get the Delivery Man of the Year award, so I think that's the first time we've got an award like that. And Robbie Harvey is going to win the AL MVP. Wow. That came out of nowhere, because Robbie Harvey, like, literally is a guy that I think I traded for him, didn't I? I believe he was with the Cubs, and I traded for him, like, when I got rid of Candelario or something like that, I think. I don't even know. But Robbie Harvey is an MVP, beating out Kelenic and Riley. He had less home runs, but more RBIs, and a way better batting average. That's pretty awesome to see that. Do we have any other nominees? Batting titles, Robbie Harvey was up there, but he doesn't get it. And yeah, there's Sammy Chavez with the Reliever of the Year award. Anybody else? Sammy Chavez was up there for Rookie of the Year as well. So he doesn't get Rookie of the Year, but he gets Reliever of the Year, which is pretty nice to see in a rookie season. Robbie Harvey up there in the Hank Aaron Award. But yeah, I think those are the only 2 guys that are going to be nominated for awards. Yeah, Robbie Harvey up there also for Golden Glove for left field. Robbie Harvey has turned into a really interesting player for our team. Definitely a good replacement with Gary Hare being out. Eduardo Cortez was up there for Silver Slugger for second base. Carmen Nunez up there for third base. And then, yeah, Robbie Harvey got it for outfield. And that is that. Interesting. Okay, so that's done. Let's take a look at our team stats for the season. Actually, let me go to the standings first. So, yeah, we finished 3 games up on the Indians, and literally that series at the end came back to bite the Indians. And then a lot of other teams just fell off the face of the earth in terms of our division. But we scored 792 runs this year, 668 allowed. I'm liking the looks of that. That might be one of the best in the league, or it should be one of the best in the league. Let's go to the team stats, our team rankings, and then we'll take a sim through the wildcard game just to see who wins between Cleveland and Baltimore and who we're going to be facing in the ALDS. So we were the first team in batting average, just above Cleveland, so hopefully Baltimore can knock out Cleveland, even though Baltimore was up there in batting average as well. Regardless, it's going to be a good batting matchup, whoever we face. We are second in at-bats, first in runs by a very large margin, by 52 runs. Good to see our offense being better this year, because the last few years it hasn't been. Hits-wise, we were up there by 20-something. We're first. Fourth in doubles. Triple-wise, we were 7th, so we got a little bit better. Home runs, we actually improved a lot throughout the year. Finished 4th, only behind San Francisco, Cleveland as well, and the Twins. We were first in RBIs, first in stolen bases. This is definitely our year to try and win the World Series, I think. We're up there in strikeouts, first in slugging percentage and on base percentage and double bases. Yeah, we were pretty much first in almost everything. Grounded into double plays. Did we ground into a lot of them? I would assume so. Yeah, we grounded into a lot of double plays, which is not that great, but whatever. Tied for 3rd in assists, 4th in putouts. Error-wise, looks like we still had a lot of errors, so our defense needs to improve. Yeah, tied for 21st. Fielding percentage doesn't matter, really, I guess. ERA-wise, did we improve that at all? Yeah, we improved that. We went all the way up to 16th, but still not the best. Definitely our pitching needs to be better in the playoffs. And I think there should be also whip, right? Strikeouts by pitching, nothing interesting. No, there's no whip. Or wait, maybe there is. I don't know. But anyways, that is the team stats. Let me quickly take a look at the top prospects so far. So yeah, we still have Troy Hinton coming up in the system. I'm really excited for him. So we do got some good prospects on the way, even though we are a good team. We also got Colby Wyatt, who's getting some good development. Dominique Flores, who's getting some development. Claudio Mora, who's up to a 70 now, which is awesome to see, but he is injured, so he might not be that good of a player. And that's pretty much that. Let's advance to see who we're facing in the ALDS. So sim through date, and it's going to be Baltimore. Okay, good. I didn't want to face Cleveland because Cleveland was the better of the two teams in my opinion. But we're going to be taking on Baltimore. So let's take a look at what Baltimore looks like quickly, and then that will be it for this episode. So let's take a look at their pitching rotation first. But we're going to be taking on Baltimore in the ALDS, so we might be able to get back to the ALCS. Let's see. Baltimore, where are you? There you are. Okay, so this is their pitching rotation, and it looks pretty good actually. So they got Adrian Moron, who's an 88, Blaine Enlow, Johan Cedeno, Brennan Malone, who's really good, and Omar Rivera. So yeah, that's a pretty solid pitching rotation. Not as deep as ours because we have like 388 plus players, but they do still have some pretty good pitchers. And then in terms of their bullpen, they have some pretty decent ones. Mark Marquez, William Stern, Keon Humphrey, Arnold Hall, Mike Nikolrak, I don't even know how to pronounce that, Martin Gallegos, Heath Duarte, and Eli Ramos is their closer. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of their bullpen either, so I feel like we should be able to beat them. Maybe their offense is really good, though. I think it is because they said that they were up there in batting average, so let's see what their lineup looks like. And then that'll be it for this episode. In the next episode, we will take on them, and hopefully we can get back to that ALCS, and hopefully we could get to a World Series this season, because I feel like this is definitely the year we could get an opportunity to do so. Let's see, where are you, Baltimore? Oh, there you are. Okay, so they got Jose Devers, who's a really good player. Yeah, he's a really good player. Jose Devers is probably their best player. But everybody else is not super high in overall, but they probably have good contact, yeah. Like Victor Mesa, Garrett Estrada, Ken Taylor, Ivan Herrera, Corbin Carroll, Gerardo Arroyo, Monte Harrison, and Lucas Ursig. Yeah, this is interesting. It's not like a really high overall team, but they do have some good contact hitting players, so they are able to get on base, especially in the top of their lineup, because as you can see here from Ivan Herrera upwards, everybody has like really good contact hitting, so that's interesting. And then in terms of their bench, they have Antoine Medrano, Howie Kibblehouse, which is a really cool name, Rene Garcia, Willie Feliz, and that's pretty much that, or Feliz I should say. But yeah, they have really good contact hitters throughout their lineup regardless of overall, so I really don't know what to make of their team, but hopefully we could beat them and get on to the next round. The winner of this series will take on the winner of Toronto and Texas, so that's going to be an interesting one. If we have to face Toronto again, it's probably going to be a tough matchup, but then again, Toronto didn't have as good of a season as us. Texas probably did, I would assume. And then in terms of the NL, you got Washington and Cincinnati. Cincinnati actually just knocked out Washington, so Cincinnati and San Francisco are going to play in the NLCS. So one of those two teams is going to be going to the World Series. But anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this episode of our Detroit Tigers franchise mode. So in next episode, we will take on the Baltimore Orioles in the ALDS as we look to get back to the ALCS in further this year. So let me know what you guys think down below, and I'll see you guys next time.